This is Luke chapter 9, verse 37 through to 43. On the next day, this is the day after the transfiguration of the Lord Jesus, when they came down from the mountain, it's kind of echoes, isn't it, of Moses coming down from the mountain with the tablets with the Ten Commandments on of the covenant. A large crowd met him, and a man from the crowd shouted, saying, "Teacher, I beg you to look at my son, for he is my only boy, and a spirit seizes him, and he suddenly screams, and it throws him into a convulsion with foaming at the mouth, and only with difficulty does it leave him, mauling him as it leaves. I begged your disciples to cast it out, and they could not." And Jesus answered and said, "You unbelieving and perverted generation, how long shall I be with you and put up with you? Bring your son here." And while he was still approaching, the demon slammed him to the ground and threw him into a convulsion. But Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit, and healed the boy and gave him back to his father. And they were all amazed at the greatness of God. But while everyone was marveling at all that he was doing, he said to his disciples, "Let these words sink into your ears, for the Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men." But they didn't understand this statement. But it was concealed from them so that they would not perceive it, and they were afraid to ask him about this statement. So Jesus comes down. The disciples who had been casting out demons when they went out with the 12, they were faced with this terrible situation for this poor man with his son. I think in Mark it says that the demon used to throw his son into the fire. And he's shouting at Jesus, "Jesus, will you come and deliver my son? Will you come and see my son? I begged your disciples, the disciples couldn't do anything with him, but I'm coming to you now." And Jesus says, "You unbelieving generation, how long will I have to put up with you? Bring your son to me." And as he's bringing him, the demon slams the child to the ground, and he goes into a convulsion. But Jesus rebukes the spirit, heals the boy, and gives him back to his father. I marvel at this man's persistence in that he came to the disciples, and the disciples couldn't deliver this boy of his demon. These are the disciples that had cast out demons as they had gone on their travels, but they couldn't do this one. But the man carried on. Well, if you can't, perhaps, because there were just the 9 disciples, because James and John and Peter had gone up with Jesus. But if you can't, where's Jesus? Where's Jesus? He'd be able to deliver my son of this demon. There was no question in his mind that God would have wanted to deliver this boy of this demon. And so if the disciples couldn't do it, he wasn't going to give up. He was going to carry on until he found Jesus. And Jesus says to him, "You unbelieving generation." I think perhaps he was saying it to the disciples. "You unbelieving generation, how long will I have to put up with you?" But even then, he brings his son, and his son is slammed to the ground. And Jesus delivers this boy of this demon. Let us be people who will not give up until we receive from the Lord Jesus what he wills and what he wants to give us, which is deliverance and healing and forgiveness. It's what he purchased on the cross for us. Let us not give up till we receive all that he has for us, all that he has purchased by his precious blood. And after this, he gathers the disciples and says, I'm going to Jerusalem. I'm going to be killed, delivered into the hands of men. And this is the second time he said, listen, let this sink into your ears. But it was kept from them. They didn't understand what he was talking about. But it's the second time that he predicts his crucifixion. And they follow him.